It's here. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this. I know I certainly have. So Ben finally delivered the Bagsport side mounted kit. It's all kind of temporary at the moment. This isn't permanent. As you can see, I've got stuff all over the floor that still needs work. But let me introduce you to the new Pulsar Turbo. This is a 3942G. This is a ceramic ball bearing turbo, and it's pretty much the same size as the GT1752, but it is the more modern turbo, and with a ball bearing centre, it should spool faster. So hopefully this will now give me more idea of where everything is going to go. So the intercooler has fit beautifully, apart from just a little bit of adjustments needed. So where the dipstick goes through, this will need just a little notch out, but I'll make it look nice. I'll take that out so we can get it in and out. My fueling has changed slightly, so I've come up now through the bottom. So I'm going to go at a 90 underneath and in, and then it's going to come out on a 150, and then if I just pick it up off the floor, the fuel pressure regulator with the sensor, so it's going to sit that way up, and it'll sit at the back about here, or maybe a little bit higher if I can get it in there, and that will then go from there and feed in on a 30, so over the top. The only issue with that is it's going to be adjusting, so I'll have a think about that and how I'm going to do it. I didn't want to mount it too low. I've seen some people mount them down here and like right out the way, right on top of the return, but I don't know. I'm going to have a think about that, because I think trying to support it off that's going to be a problem. But that pipe then will bend a little bit towards, and then I've got a fitting to come off that 45, and that will come out and straight to it, then it'll hardwire. So I am definitely getting somewhere with it. I've got to mount the bottle, the wash bottle, and that'll be up the back. It's going to go about here, I think, and then the pump's going to go right out the way, and then the next one's going to be the brake line. So I haven't fitted the downpipe just yet, because I need to notch the subframe to get it in. So all of this has got to come off anyway, so I can get the angle grinder in, and then I've got to work out how to do all of this and fit the regulator as well. One step at a time. The lambda sensor has moved, rather it be underneath it. I don't think you can see it if I can find it on the floor. Here it is. So this is the downpipe. So it's got a turbo elbow and a downpipe on it. So that will go down underneath, and then obviously the subframe will have to be notched because this is 2 1/4, and then the lambda sensor goes in there. So when it goes on, it's actually facing the other way and right out the way. So I can move the wiring then down, probably down that way with the rest of it, and then down somehow around in. The other one option I've got is to take it all the way up there, and then bend it round, go behind the servo, and then down that way, just to keep things neat and to keep things a little bit, you know, all tucked. The inlet air temperature sensor goes underneath, so just there. So these are the wires for the inlet air temperature, so I can do those, and then again that'll be hidden quite nicely, and these for the fuel pressure regulator, so that's all tucked in. Over here, if I can pull them up, these are the wires for the injectors and the throttle, the drive-by-wire throttle body, so those can get done as well. The beauty of where the blow-off valve is, and this is a forged blow-off valve, is it's very simple for plumbing. And then the two takeoffs I've got here, one will be for the fuel pressure regulator as a sensor, and the other one will go to the ECU, and those will go down through the plate and down to the ECU. So there's a lot of work to do, but it's getting around to it and finding what to do next. Another issue that I've got to sort out, as you can probably see there, is the feed for the heater. So it'll come off there and turn very quickly because it's right next to the manifold, so I'll sleeve that, come round the back, and then it's going to go in just here, and then it comes out and it goes to that pipe. So I'm going to have to cut that pipe and put a 90 degree on, and that will go then in. So hopefully that we'll sort the heating on the inside of the car. The rest of it sorted. Got to sort a few fasteners and stuff for the thermostat housing, but as I said, it's all slow progress and I'm really happy at the moment. So as you imagine, there's a lot to get on with. One of the things I want to try and tackle with straight away is the wash bowl. Now, Ben Bagsport's done me an absolute blinder, and he's made me a bracket for it. Annoyingly, he's put a little bit of a symbol on there, but it's going to be an Easter egg. He's an arsehole. Love him, really. But what this essentially will do is, if you go and look at the firewall, it's not flat, or it's not vertical. It's on a slight angle. He's already got the CAD profile for this all, so he's made me a 3D printed bracket, which has got these in. So I'll just spin the camera and I'll show you. So with it all bolted up on M4, it will go and sit nicely there. And then it will just bolt through to the other side. And the nice thing is now it's sat upright. I can put the pump up there behind it, and I can sort out the washer jets. Finally, the only thing it might do is get away of the brake pipes, but at the moment I'm in two minds what to do with them, so I'm just going to keep simple. So I'll drill the holes and get this fitted. Just done a bit of a test. I'll show you in a bit. But now the bottle's on, it's quite solid. It goes in to the pump, which is now under there, if it focuses, and then in T-piece and to the other one. It'll all get tucked underneath, but I'm really happy with that. Obviously just filled with water now for the time being, but it'll get filled with the proper fluid. I forgot to put this on camera, but needs some adjustment. It works! I got a fair bit done off camera, mainly because of time. But underneath now, pardon the rusty water that has come from, sadly, the old radiator leaking out and going underneath the car, I have got aluminium pipes. And they are on, if I can get close to one, 3D printed brackets. And these are from Elliot. However, I've got Ben at Bagsport to make me some more as well, because I think I'm going to hang them for some more further down and get these closer to the chassis as possible. I don't like them hanging this far down, especially near the front, which I'll show you in a sec when I can actually get round to it. But in the engine bay, what I've done is bring them all the way up, and I've put another bracket there, and that's on a mount that was already in the car. And what I've done is it's an olive fitting on there, and using AN6 line going in, and it'll return. And as I said before, I will put the fuel pressure regulator about here. We'll do that later, and then the return back in here. The fuel filters in the right next to the fuel tank, if you remember from the last episode, and that'll negate the need for one up here, and it makes things a lot easier. So the next thing I want to try and do, if I can find it, I went past it on the way round, is I have got an MPI. Here it is, tidy under the car. I've got an MPI. This is Felix's original one. I've got an MPI fuel pipe cover, and what that will essentially do, as if you imagine the profile of the car, that will bolt the way around actually, Stephen. It goes that way. And that will bolt to the bulkhead right underneath, and it will protect the pipes from the inevitable scraping and battering they were going to get. So we'll get the wheel off and get some holes drilled and get that fitted. So the fuel line's coming up. I've got myself, as I showed, the MPI cover. Now the problem is, as I go over, it doesn't quite fit because of the subframe mount. So what I'm going to do, take my trusty sharper and a bit of blue tape and work out roughly where it's going to go, and then cut a section out. So give that a go. We'll come back in a second and see if it fits. There we go, on with M6 stainless fasteners. That should now keep it nice and safe. As you can imagine, in an engine bay this small and an exhaust this exposed, there's a lot of heat. So one thing I've started doing is planning where I'm going to put heat proofing and reflective materials. It's already got the Funk Motorsport turbo blanket for this turbo, and then the next stage is using, again, Funk Motorsport adhesive insulated reflective film, and that will go on the bulkhead down here, and then where the exhaust downpipe or turbo elbow goes, because it'll come off, and then down this side of the stabilizer bracket I'm going to put a piece on here just around the corner, and also on essentially the support beam there as well, because it gets really close. But once I've got the notch sorted in the subframe, probably can't see because of the light, it's going to have to go about there, but I need to mock that up, do it. Then once the exhaust all comes off, so I can get other parts sorted, this will go off for ceramic coating, which will really help as well. Another thing, because there's a lot of wiring floating around, is I've got 7mm silicon heat shielding, and that will go onto some of the wiring loom there. And the nice thing is I've got enough to do some of the clutch line and some of the brake line if needed as well. But until it all goes back on with the downpipe actually in, I won't be able to tell. So that is my next job. But again, to do that, it needs to go off. So you can imagine there is a process. So let's get the downpipe in and a kind of in where it is, notch it, paint it, and we'll go from there. I've already put a bit of blue tape and a mark where it's going to go. So we'll remove this, see if I can get an angle grinder through. If not, I've got the trusty thing file. So yeah, we'll remove it and see where we can go from there. Better close up there, now the manifold's off. So the downpipe's going to go this side of the stabiliser, around here, and then over the top, or behind, top, whichever you want to call it, the pot joint, and then squeeze down there. It might be quite tricky, I might have to do some fettling with the position of the engine, but we'll get it in there as well. Another one that I need to get to at some point sorted is the oil return line. Obviously turbo here, that's the entrance to the gearbox, so I've got to try and work some sort of serpentine pipe to go up, but that's for later on. At the moment, let's concentrate on this, get that done, and then whilst I'm there, it's all off, I can fit the heatproof matting down the back as well. So let's go for it. And there we go, notched. I've got the heatproof material on. I've got to do this bit here, and some area around there as well. So I'll get the exhaust manifold back on and I'll show you. And there we have it. So it goes over the pot joint, and if you can just see, I can get it to focus, there's some clearance through there as well. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's enough. There's very little movement in the engine. As you can imagine, I've got one steady there and the other steady's got to go onto the side as well. So really pleased with that. So yeah, we'll move on to the fueling. So that's the fuel pressure regulator fitted and bolted to the firewall. So done the wiring for the pressure sensor, and that's gone in. Annoyingly, I've put the label on the wrong side, so it's just that side. Inlet air temperature sensor has been done as well. That's all the calibration in the NSP software, and the rest of it done. I think now, apart from the lambda sensor, wiring in the engine bay is pretty much complete. Next phase, getting the fuel pipe from there to there, and then the return from there to there. But as I said, I'm going to bend this down and try and work out what I actually need, and that goes with the rear as well. So I'll just cut to inside the rear subframe and I'll show you. So back here I've got the two lines. The one on the right here is the feed, and that one is the return. So I've got to get them into there. I'm trying to figure out what to do. So this might be a bit of bending the pipe and trying to work out what fitting, but I think on that one off the fuel pump, I'm going to take a 90 and then cut this one quite short and then run the fuel line. So I'm going to get some fittings and do that. And there we go. So it's off the fuel pump, goes round the back, and it swings around the front, through a heat sleeve and then in, and the return up and over as we've shown, and back in. So that's the rear sorted. Everything's been tightened now, so the rear is good to go. Voila, that's them done. That's my feed coming up, and that'll go into the fuel rail, 90, then out the fuel rail, into the fuel pressure regulator, and then return and all the way back. And as a fuel pressure regulator, as a sensor, I'm going to go and check for 3 bar when it's running, and we'll sort that out in Haltech, and I can adjust it using the screw right at the top. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the arse to get to, but we'll do it. Right, so let's get this all sorted and get the fuel pump working. And typically, I've parked the wrong way around, so I found another way of doing this using an old bit of clear hose. So, get the old jerry can on. Get the clear hose. Attach it to the end. Get it right to the tank. And let it pour. Making things easier, on my keypad I had those 4 for cruise control, but I don't need all 4 of them. I actually only need 3, so at the moment I've got a spare on that one, and I've now put it to a pump override switch, so as I try and prime the fuel and clear the lines out, I'm going to be able to run the fuel pump a lot longer. So what we'll do is set the camera up, and we'll get it to prime on the key, and I'll show you the fuel coming out of the side. Fingers crossed, no leaks. Right, here we go. First prime, first turn of the key. That seems to have worked. So let's try the button. It seems to be coming out. Good work. So, no leaks from the front, which is good. It's spilt a bit as it came out of the bottle. But let's go to the back of the car. Check the torch. No smell of fuel just yet. All I can see, no leaks. So, let's run it for a bit and see if there are any more, and we can clean out the lines. So with the fuel pump running, I've used my trusty 8mm on the now 2 nuts on top of the fuel pressure regulator to adjust it because I can't get an Allen key on. And my fuel pressure now, you can just see through, is at 45 psi, there or thereabouts. So happy with that. So that's all the fuel done. That's where I'm going to leave it for today, guys. A lot's been done. I'm really pleased with the progress at the moment. The turbo just suits this engine bay down to the ground. I couldn't be more happy with it as it is. There's a lot more to do before we go for first crank and first start. Hopefully that'll be in the next episode. For the meantime, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.